Welcoming all the viewers with the second problem on the chapter income from other sources. Importance of this problem with solution highlighting on TDS and its applicability in few cases and rate of TDS applicable on various incomes received by an SSC from different sources, and also in certain cases TDS rate is not applicable. Without deducting that TDS, tax deducted at shows certain amount received by an SSC. So based on this point, this problem is taken, and let us start this problem, and I will finish with its solution, that is income from other sources from the given problem. Okay, problem is on your screen here. Question number 2: compute income from other sources of Mr. Krishna Murthy, who held the following investments during the previous year 2022-23. So Mr. Krishnamurthy has purchased central government securities by investing rupees 11,000, and this investment carrying 10% interest. So income from other sources, interest on central government security is taxable. So then what is the amount he has received from this security in the name of interest? That is, the rate is given, amount of investment is given, you multiplied with this, then the interest would be rupees 1100 is received by Krishnamurthy and SSC. Similarly, he has invested 36,000 rupees at the rate of 10% interest on commercial securities of closely held company, and this is a tax free, means here the TDS, tax deducted at source, is already deducted by the giver of this company to Krishnamurthy. Hence the amount of interest received, which is tax free, that is on Krishnamurthy behalf, company has already deducted 10% TDS, and now this amount of interest become tax free in the hand of Krishnamurthy. So this is the net amount. So but while computing income from other sources, we have to show the gross amount of interest received. Gross amount, since this is the tax free, means tax is deducted, hence it is become tax free amount in the hand of Krishna Murthy. And similarly here 6,300 received as interest on tax free. Here also 10% amount is already deducted in the name of TDS, and now we have to show this amount before TDS. It is the after TDS amount 6,300. So then what would be the amount before TDS? That is called grossing up. Grossing up. Grossing up. Okay. So this is simple. Amount of interest multiplied by 100 divided by 100 minus rate. What is the rate applicable TDS on securities? It is generally 10%. Dividend 10%. On debenture interest 10%. Rate of TDS applicable. interest on saving bank account, it is also 10%. So when the person paying the income in the to the SSC, then it is mandatory to the payer that he or she should deduct a amount of tax. At what rate of tax will be deducted, it is specified clearly under income tax provision. Okay, similarly here this is the 7,200 rupees received interest on Karnataka government securities. So TDS is not applicable on the central government as well as state government securities. It means that central government or state governments, when it is paying the interest amount to SSC without deducting the TDS, so that means this 7,200 is the gross amount. This amount itself before TDS, because TDS is not applicable in case of central government securities and state government securities. But security issued by local authority, TDS is applicable at the rate of 10%. Okay, so now this is the point number 4. Now point number 5, rupees 4,000 received as interest on debenture of Deepak Fertilizer listed here, and this is the interest amount. And when the interest on debenture and which is listed, if the amount of interest received is less than 5,000 rupees, then TDS is not applicable. TDS is not applicable. So that means this 4,000 rupees is gross amount. It is before deducting tax. Okay. Now here similarly, next point number 6, rupees 30,000 is invested, and this is rate of interest is 13.5. Securities of a paper mill company limited. So this is the total amount of investment, and when you multiply the total amount of investment with the rate of interest, then this will be a gross interest amount received on securities. In this case the TDS will not be applicable. You have to calculate directly, because you are calculating directly investment amount multiplying by the rate of interest. So then this is the amount whatever you get, you are getting, unless it is the tax free. So this will be the gross amount of interest on securities received. And same case is here, 35,000 11% securities, and 35,000 into 11 by 100, so then it will be the gross amount. If the amount is received is given, then then there will be amount of TDS is applicable. Okay, here the gross investment or total amount of investment and plus rate of interest is given, then this is your total amount of interest, which is also gross interest amount. And here dividend from Corona Limited, it is rupees 4,000. So about it, whether this amount is gross or net, it is not mentioned. So we assume that it is a gross amount, that is before deducting TDS. Okay, and here during the year he also got a prize in Karnataka State Lottery. So the net amount received by him was 35,000. So TDS applicable in case of lottery, any TV program, card games, crossword puzzles. So rate of TDS applicable is 30%. So that means this is the net amount after deducting 30%. So then while solving these problems, we have to show the gross amount, means this is the net amount after deducting 30% of tax 35,000. Then what is the gross amount? So simple formula, just I told you that interest net amount interest received or net amount of lottery received, that is 35,000 and into 100, and rate of TDS is applicable is 30%, so 100 minus 30, it is 100 by 70 into 35,000, so then you will get 50,000 is the amount, and the rest other things are given here. Interest are received on every 1st January of every year, and bank charges 200 as collection charges, and this bank charges as collection charges, assuming that this is not on dividend and interest on securities like in units of mutual fund. It is other bank charges we assume, and we will claim deduction of this rupees 200. Okay, here this is the problem. Now let's see the solution. This is your solutions. Computation of income from other sources of Mr. Krishnamurthy, a resident individual, for the assessment year 2023-24 relating to previous year 2022-23. Well, so here the first point is given interest on central government securities. Here 11,000 investment amount, 10% rate of interest, so it is 1,100. And tax-free interest on commercial securities, it is given in the questions. Tax-free interest on securities, so it is a 36,000, 10% commercial securities tax free. So then 36,000 is, and the rate of interest is a 10%, which is a tax free. So if we have to calculate in this manner, like 10% of 36,000, it is 3,600. So this is made tax free, means 10% is already deducted as a TDS. So 100 divided by 100 minus 10, that is 90. So we have to calculate in this way, and when you calculate this, then you will get 4,000 rupees. Since it is made tax free, so that is why this rule is applicable. And same here, tax free interest from public limited company. The amount here, amount is given 6,300, means it is after deducting 10%. So here if you calculate it, then you will get 7,000. 6,300 into 100 divided by 90, 100 minus 10. So here it is 7,000. Now interest received on Karnataka government securities. So on state government security, no TDS is chargeable. And here, so the whatever the amount is given, that is 7,200, itself a gross amount, 7,200. And interest on debenture of Deepak Fertilizer, given in the questions. Interest on debenture Deepak Fertilizer, and amount is 4,000, which is less than 5,000, and it is listed, and we assume that this is amount paid by account pay check, and then no TDS applicable if amount of interest received is up to 5,000. So and here next point, interest on securities of paper mill. So it is a 30,000 is amount invested, rate of interest is given 13.5%. So it is not a tax free, so this is whole amount will be gross amount. So 30,000 into 13.5%, it is coming 4,050. Next, dividend from Corona Limited. So and this is a 4,000 rupees, and before that interest on bonds of municipal corporation. The total amount invested on municipal municipal corporation is 10,000. Rate of interest is given 15%. So 10,000 into 15%, it is 1500. It is the gross amount. And dividend from Corona Limited, we will assume that this is a before TDS amount, so no tax is deducted. And winning from Karnataka State Lottery, just I explain you in the questions. So 30% rate applicable in a lottery, card games, gambling, betting, crossword puzzles, and so this is calculated in this manner. So here 100 by 70 into 35,000, gross amount 50,000. And this is the here the point is again interest on securities of Paper Mill Company Limited 35,000 into 11%. Rate of interest is given 11%, and when you calculate, so it is coming 3,850. Alright, so total, now totaling all this, second taxable column amount 1,100 plus 4,000 plus 7,000 plus 7,200 plus 4,000 plus 4,050 plus 1,500 plus 4,000 plus 50,000 plus 3,850. So then your total amount 86,700 less collection charges. It is assumed that it is not on dividend and on units of mutual fund, and here 200 rupees is claim deduction. It is given in the questions. Okay, so after deducting this 200 rupees, so 86,700 minus 200, 86,500 is income from other sources. Okay students, so this is, you watch all of you and write down the questions and solutions in your copy, and all of your practices. Okay students, thank you very much.